Hello friends, welcome to EduTap. Today I have a very special guest with me, Mr. Rajvardhan Thakur, who has recently cleared SEBI Grade A 2020 exam. If there is a quote in my mind which really represents him, the quote is that I may not be there yet, but I am closer than where I was yesterday. So that is what defines Rajvardhan Thakur. I'll give you his introduction, and you will realize that how much he has gone through, and he has been able to achieve this after a lot of hardships. He's basically from Aurangabad, Maharashtra, and he has done his BTech from uh, VIT Pune in 2012 in IT stream. After that, he was working as a senior business analyst with New Sigma Bangalore. But then he quit his job because he wanted to prepare for UPSC. And while he was preparing for UPSC, he gave various exams at PO level, at assistant level, and he got selected into ESSEC, where he is working right now. But if we see behind the scenes, he has worked hard a lot for other exams. He has given 5 UPSC attempts. He has given 3 RBI attempts. He has given 2 SEBI attempts, and he has given 3 NABARD attempts. And in between these attempts, he has given RBI Grade B 2018 interview, and he missed the interview call for SEBI Grade A 2018 by just 2 marks. So you can see how much he has prepared for various exams of UPSC or regulatory bodies level, but without no success till now. So he has been finally able to clear SEBI Grade A 2020 exam. So Rajvardhan, it must be a moment of relief for you, and you must be on cloud 9.
Definitely, Anjit. First of all, thank you for giving my introduction. And yes, I am on a cloud 9 right now. It has been a dream come true for me.
That's really good to know. So Rajvardhan, my first question to you is that what are the 3 things that you think that makes you stand where you are today?
So basically, like there are many qualities that we will have to keep while preparing. But 3 things that come to my mind. The first is the quality of persistence. So I think that I was able to keep track of all the exams. I was able to focus on exams even in spite of multiple failures. So definitely persistence and never giving up attitude is one thing that I want to highlight. And apart from that, second thing is definitely the positive approach. I did feel bad because I was close to clearing many exams, but I could not make it. But definitely I thought that this will add to my knowledge pool and experience pool, and definitely I will be able to do better in my next attempt. So that is the second thing. And third thing I can say is the constant support of my family, friends, and my wife, the different friends that I have made during the journey. Like I did reduce my social media interaction during this time, but I never was distant from my friends, and they were definitely a source of encouragement and a constant push for me. That is one thing I can say.
That's
yes, and one thing I can add is the strategy. You have to define and redefine your strategy, and you have to analyze your mistakes. So definitely you will reach the goal.
Thank you, Rajvardhan, for answering this question in a very lucid manner. And one thing I'm sure, I mean, when I talk to a lot of candidates, one thing is common is that friends, families have been source of strength throughout their journeys. And I would also like to add that Rajvardhan just got married in December 2020. You can say that now 25 days before the phase 1 exam. So that was an additional burden on him. Many people after their marriage would just leave the preparation that, okay, I have a job and I've just got married, so it's time for me to enjoy, forget about SEBI preparation. But he kept going on. So this is something that shows his mental strength, that shows his desperation to get into SEBI. So that's really good, Rajvardhan. My next question is that many a times you would have felt like giving it up because the process was very big and you were already into job. You got married also. So at that point in time, what kept you going? What motivated you? What was a stress buster for you?
So as we say that the first step is always hard. So while I was in my job in MCQs Bangalore, so even there I was doing well and I was settled in my job. It also had a very good career prospect. But I always had that dream of like becoming an Indian Foreign Service officer. So that was my main priority. So I took a leap of faith. That was my first step, I would say. And then I gave first attempt with my job, but I was not able to focus. That's why I quit my job and gave a full-time attempt. And after that, each time I like developed my strategy. So I gave like 4 attempts, 5 attempts. I also have given Indian Forest Service mains. So I was definitely there, but I came to know about other exams also, like RBI, NABARD, and SEBI, while I was in my fifth attempt, sorry. So there I analyzed my priorities, and at that moment I thought that I wanted to do public service, and there are also other ways of doing public service in addition to UPSC exams. So at that moment, I gave the exam of ESIC, and also I started giving exam for regulatory bodies. So definitely, as working as a social security officer, and ESIC was a very a delightful opportunity for me. I was able to implement all the knowledge that I had. So definitely, my job had given me the confidence and push to attempt for these exams even more. And coming to these exams, after some time while I was preparing, I was like enjoying the preparation. I never thought it as a burden because reading so much for UPSC, like reading had become like a hobby for us. Like any UPSC aspirant, if you ask, it becomes a hobby for them. So I was not like stuck in that it is an exam and we have to take it as a burden. It is an opportunity. So till the time the the esteemed organizations are giving me an opportunity, I should attempt the exam. If it is in my favor, if it is my luck, then I will definitely get it. Because there is always some element of luck. I can agree because that is required during your mains and your interview phase also. But apart from that, a constant preparation and study is definitely important to clear the exam. So I do not feel it as a burden because I was in a journey. I had set a goal that, okay, not UPSC. And after I joined my job and also after marriage, it was clear that I would not be able to give that much time that the UPSC demands. So, and the preparation for the regulatory bodies, that has to be specific. That is a bit concise. So I can focus there, I can revise, and I can give my attempt, and definitely I can clear. So with that confidence, I kept on doing my preparation, and I'm grateful to God and all the support from my family and friends and my wife that I'm able to clear it finally.
That's true. The golden lines, that he did not take his preparation as a burden. That is something every aspirant should try to understand, that if you learn and enjoy during the process of preparation, you will definitely, even if not clear the exam, you will get something positive out of this process. My next question to you, Rajavardhan, is that many people tend to prepare from with many sources. Some do self-preparation, some watch random YouTube videos, some buy say 10, 12 books, and then they realize that these books are not something that they are meant to study for these exams. So what was your source of preparation while you were preparing for this exam? There can be many sources, but what was your primary source of preparation for SEBI Grade A 2020 exam?
Yes. So, like I said, that we were preparing for UPSC. The UPSC base has helped us as a foundation. And after that, because I joined my job directly, I did not get a chance to read the basic reference book from the scratch. So due to paucity of time, I was looking for some concise source. So yes, EduTap SEBI course was my primary source of preparation. But given the vast nature of syllabus, so here I would like to divide my answer into 3 parts for 3 different types of candidates. So one is like engineering background, like a non-commerce background. One is commerce background, and other can be a working profession. For a commerce background person, I think it is not very easy, but definitely they will at least know what is in the syllabus. might help them to at least understand what is there in the syllabus. But the syllabus is so designed for the exam that they have like it is equal for everyone. The chance is there for everyone. It's only that the non-commerce background, majorly engineering students, so they just have to keep faith on themselves, and they must understand one thing, that if SEBI has given two types of jobs, one is a specialist post and one is generalist post. In generalist post, they have clearly mentioned that even engineers can apply. So they like encourage that okay, engineers can apply and they can also clear the exam. It is indirectly mentioned there. So they should take it with a confidence, and they should try wholeheartedly. So I think that is one thing. And for working professionals, like I was working while I was preparing, so it was very difficult for me to handle my job because I am working in one of the biggest and busiest branch of ESIC in Waluj, Aurangabad. So the job was very interesting. It was full of customer interaction. We did a lot of good job during COVID. Present in office. So it was a bit hectic for me, but even the lockdown period, I tried to use that time. I was fully well versed with the newspapers. Like I tried to stick to reading newspapers every day, not in that depth, but at least I knew that what is all going on around. And apart from that, so there, the course definitely helped. EduTap course, all the syllabus, at least I got everything about something, like something about everything at one place. So I tried to see the syllabus, and I decided to stick to the syllabus. And there were subjects that I was not very comfortable, like accountancy and commerce is there. Even costing is very difficult. I found it difficult. But I thought that, okay, whatever is there in the course, and it is also mentioned in your design course. So I just took the PDFs, I took the videos, and I was just taking notes. I tried to minimize what to read. I revised again and again, and it really helped me. So yes, definitely one should not, any course or any book you use, it is of no use if you cannot revise. So we just have to keep the source limited, and we don't have to worry about few questions that are very difficult anyway. Like we won't be able to answer every question. So at least the basics and easy part, the low-hanging fruits, that should be taken off. That should be taken advantage. And apart from that, whatever syllabus part we cannot cover, we should solve as many MCQs as possible. So we can cover that syllabus from MCQs also. Yes, that was my approach.
Fine. And when you say that, as many MCQs we should try to attempt. So how many MCQs did you attempt overall? Have you any track? 5,000, 10,000?
I won't be able to tell like that, but yes, because even phone is there with us every time. So whenever I got that free time from my work, before my work, during the, it's not that I studied day and night, it's nothing like that. It's just that whenever you get that time, you get that feel that, okay, now is the time, like 15 minutes is there, I can just solve MCQ. Like I may learn 2-3 things. The next approach that I used in this, we simply do not attempt the MCQs. So I just check the answers. And after that, I actually have a habit of maintaining a book of mistakes. So that is the one thing that I have been doing. So whatever mistakes we are making, at least in one line, very concise form, you can have the extract of that MCQ. That MCQ is talking about some concept, some data. So into one line, a small one line, you can write what you have learned from that. So if we can make all the notes from there, so again, I don't have to give that MCQ. And I also did one thing that if I practiced a set of MCQ, I took the notes from there. Then later, if I get time, I will reattempt the MCQ to see whether I remember the concepts or not. This was just my approach, that it's not that we have to solve 10,000 or 20,000 MCQs. I will solve 5,000 MCQs, but I will try to retain as much as possible, so that if I get a question from them, probably, so I can get it clear. This habit I got from UPSC prelims days, because there it is very helpful.
That's good. And you mentioned that accountancy and commerce and costing was the most tough subjects that you find in your entire preparation. Yes. And that is a common statement from all the engineers.
Correct.
So what was your approach to handle them? Any specific approach that, okay, maybe if I can do these chapters, or if I can do these in such a way, I will still be able to manage the overall score.
So, like we are given the paper 1 and paper 2. So the paper 2 was the syllabus was common for paper 1, like prelims and mains. One thing was clear that we have to anyway complete the 6 papers. That's finance, management, economics, commerce, accountancy, costing, and I think I'm missing something. Like these are the 6 subjects there. So, like I have been preparing for NABARD and RBI. So the finance, management, and economics part, I've even studied in UPS. So those parts were not new to me. I did require revision there, but at least some concepts were clear for them. And so I just wanted to consolidate it and revise it properly. So I was not so much focused on that, but I just kept on revising it on the notes I have. And apart from that, these 3 were the new areas formed, like commerce, accountancy, and costing, like the entirely new. So what I did, I just approached it with curiosity. I just thought that, okay, I will just take all the 3 at a time, because doing one full subject at a stretch, it's a bit monotonous and it's boring, because like the similar concepts there are too many concepts involved. So what I did is, like, I thought that, okay, let's do 2 units for commerce, and then 2 units for costing, and then 2 for accountancy. Accountancy I could not complete because many concepts are not comfortable. In such subjects, I took a conscious decision that I am not able to like fully understand them. So whatever easy concepts, whatever concepts are there that I can grasp easily, instead of going depth-wise, I focused on width. So I tried to cover all the concepts at least on the surface. And whichever concept I can study, I tried to dig in, like I go to the depth. So this was my approach. Like all the subjects I was doing concurrently, and the easy ones I was doing till depth, and the difficult ones I was only touching the surface. So and I was revising.
Basically, you played to your strength. That is, whatever you're not able to understand, let's not waste time on that. Let's move ahead. And whatever I can understand, let's try to have more understanding on that.
Yes. So like from all the exams I have given till now, one thing I've understood that the paper level of paper 2 in all the exams are a bit difficult, because there is a main paper on which the merit is decided. So that has to be a bit difficult. So if they tend to ask a difficult question from those areas which I don't know, I won't be able to answer. So instead of that, I should focus on my strength more and took a calculated risk in the exam also.
That's great. And what, according to you, are the most scoring sections in the whole set of syllabus?
Like I think the English descriptive paper, if done well, can really add to the entire marks that we get. That is one thing. And apart from that, I think the finance and management part, and even the questions from say costing, not many questions are asked, but the questions from finance, management, economics. So that is common for almost all the exams. And even till now, the exams has not been set so difficult. Like even now, the questions are of moderate to easy level. It is not very difficult. So even we study and practice, so we will be able to solve the questions at least from economics, finance, and management. I won't say that I was so comfortable with the other 3, but I tried to answer as many questions from there as possible. And the technique that I talked about the MCQs and about the playing to my strength, that has definitely helped me in answering whatever questions I could from those 3 sections.
I will come back to MCQs now. So I think it's very clear that you were not comfortable in accounts, commerce and accounts, costing, and company law, but you were able to do better in all the other 3 sections.
Companies law, sorry, I forgot that was the part. So the Companies Act is something, because it is a static act. So there are provisions. So we must use some creative ways, because it's boring if you just read the sections. So it would be very good if you can create some mind maps or something and just connect the dots and try to remember as many provisions as we can. So even that I was fine, because I tried and I could remember many of the sections. So even I was good with that, but the commerce, accountancy, and costing part was a bit difficult.
Okay. So that's again very logical, that commerce, accountancy, and costing was the part which you found most difficult. Uh, Now you talked about numericals. While talking about commerce and accountancy and costing, you talked about numericals. You said that you left most of the numerical. Is that right?
No, no. I did not leave most of the numericals. Not much numericals were asked in the exam actually. So whatever numericals they ask, I've never seen very difficult numerical. Even if you know basic concept and if you have solved some basic problems from those concepts, you will be able to get it. So I would.
So in your preparation, you did the numerical part also.
Yes, I did it. But like if you take, for example, any concept of cost, there were like many calculations there. But I did not go in the depth. I just understood that this is the concept, this is how it is applied, and that's it. So this was my approach. And in the exam also, they did not go very deep as far as I know. Even if there was a question, I would prefer to leave it because if I was not comfortable, then I will just leave it. Instead of taking a blind risk, just to calculated risk in the exam. So that has helped me actually.
So according to you, I mean, numerical are asked of basic nature, and if you have your concepts clear, and maybe you can do some basic numerical from the course or from any book. I mean, that is good enough.
I think that should be enough. I would not say it is enough, because maybe next time the paper can be very difficult. Next time paper can be full of numericals. We cannot predict the exam so easily. But what I think is, if it is a paper of general nature and it is for a general nature, so ideally paper won't be having so much difficult numericals. Even if we try to do basic numericals, even that, remembering that must be difficult even for commerce students, I just guess, I think, because it is very vast.
That's right. And what about the technique to remember the facts in the company and the provisions? You talked about some mind maps a while ago. So did you used to make them using pen and paper in your copy, something like that?
I tried one or two ways. Actually, the first thing was like pen and paper mode. There are a couple of ways of doing that. Mind map is if I focus on something, so then I can just make a like center point, and I can just have a tree-like branch for them and try to group similar concepts in one mind map. So in that way, if I look at the diagram one or two times, I can remember maybe what all sections are related to one concept. This is one thing, one way of doing it. Another way I tried was like I used to use Evernote or any notepad or anything you use, online notes. So during UPSC times, I used to maintain notes on my paper, most of the notes. But later I realized that it is very difficult to update if it's written on paper. So I tried to shift to online. So I made my notes. I tried to make concise notes on Evernote, and then I will take a print. I will update it, and during exam time I took a print of it, and I just updated whatever I could on that only. So during exam I got some very concise notes to revise. So I just had a revision of those notes and the mistakes, the book of mistakes that I keep myself. That was my source of revision. That's it. During exam.
And I think when we make notes of what we have read, it automatically increases the retention, right?
Definitely, it helps. But given the scope of syllabus, it is not possible to like make notes of all the sheets. But like given the Company Act, so this is some section which is static. For it, the applications are so many, but at least given the syllabus, there is a static Companies Act. So what I will do is I will try to use, because there will be short questions on that section, because it is very important. So that was one my approach. So if I could do that in minimum time, then I can use that time that I saved in other sections. That is the approach I do.
Exactly. And what was your approach to mock test? You solved a lot of MCQs, right? So what, according to you, is the purpose of solving a test? What are the different takeaways you take from the test? As in, my question, if I want to be specific, is obviously, I mean, the common thing which people do is they want to give a test to check themselves that how much they are scoring. But what is the takeaway? How do you analyze a mock test? What are the parameters on which which one can analyze a mock test so as to increase the score in the further tests?
So, when we study so much, like we think that whenever we will give test, so everyone wants to score more. All India test, even EduTap brings, and there are many classes like All India mock test. So we just want that we should score very high in those tests. During UPSC times also, we used to give so many mock tests, and we just used to focus on score. But over time, I realized that focusing on score is of no use, because the test might be focused on something that you might have not studied, and also it might reduce your confidence if you just link your performance, link your performance to your preparation. So one test cannot decide the scope of your preparation. So you should not, first of all, you should not judge yourself, your preparation and your confidence from one test. The purpose of mock test is to actually see that what are your strength and your weakness. So that should be the only purpose of it. Also, if you can keeping your head calm, if you can engage into a constructive competition, that okay, I will do better next time. I am doing good, but I will be doing better. Then you can engage into some sort of competition. I'll be doing, but competition should be with yourself only, not with others. In one test you can score lowest, in other tests you can also score highest. But that is to gauge the level of your preparation and your strength and your weakness. So, for example, during prelims also, I have started with prelims. So, there in all the exams, the strategy is important. Mock test helps you to organize your strategy. There are some good points, your bad points. In quant, if I talk about in quant, I have some few weak areas. So I will try to avoid them. I will look for the questions that are my strength. I will do maximum questions if I know that those are my strengths. So continuously doing mock test will give you a strategy that okay, I will look for these questions. I will solve these many questions. These many questions are perfect. These are I am not able to solve them. And these are questions where I am confused between two options, but I can take a calculated risk. So that is the kind of strategy that you learn when you do mock test. So that is one thing. Apart from that, if like I said earlier about the book of mistakes, if you just keep analyzing that, okay, in this section, what is the extra risk that I took? These are the good questions. These are easy questions that I marked correct. So you won't be making notes out of those questions because it is always already, you know those concepts and you are correct in that. But assuming that you made mistakes in some questions and you know those concepts, so you should definitely jot down whatever mistakes you did. So I was more focused on that. I was more focused at what I will write on my paper once I have given the test. So just one point I have to share with you. So if I have a piece of paper, so this looks a very small thing to change, but I would advise everyone to please try it once. Even if you have a piece of paper and we just make notes out of it, so we tend to waste a lot of paper and also the overall paper becomes bulky. If you just take a piece of paper and divide it into two parts, and if you write everything in just one line and only half of page.
Can you
so
just
one page
show it once again by moving it little upside?
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
so,
like this.
I just want to say that we can just fold the paper, and after doing this, only this half part should be your page, and you should write very very small handwriting and very short. It should be precise. That in this question only this much is important. So in this way, the entire test you can cover in one page. This is really helpful because when you will revise, you have only 2 days at hand, and you have so much material. So if you just start doing this, then you will see that you will have a confidence that okay, I have studied so much, I have made it this much concise. Then I can just focus on this, and that will give you tremendous confidence when you will go to exam. You will feel that all the things you have studied, you have definitely made a revision out of it. So that will help you boost confidence during the exam. So this is the analysis way I think can be helpful. That helped me actually all the exams.
That's great. That's a really wonderful answer. You gave a lot of insights, and this technique of yours to fold the paper and make notes is really something new for me to learn also. It helps us to be concise while making notes, and that makes it easier for us to revise later.
Thank you. One more technique that I wanted to add is we study a lot of current affair. Any current affair magazine, on my EduTap or any other class, that is very bulky to say the least. Like it is 200 to 50 pages, but that information is important. But we cannot remember so much. We cannot revise it during the exam. One different technique that came out of me while I was very short of time, I just took the index of the current affairs and I just read the index. In index, everything was very concisely written. So in 2-3 pages, the entire month was completed. That was not primary. I read the entire book if possible. If it's not possible, we will just read the index and revise it multiple times. This helps in current affairs section of RBI Grade B and NABARD and SEBI also in the prelims section. Because I have the whatever exams I have given, almost sparing the RBI Grade B this time because I was focused on RBI. I couldn't clear RBI prelims only. But that was not due to current affair. In current affair, I scored good. And all the other exams, I was able to clear prelims. All the regulatory exams I've given, I've cleared all the prelims. So this is the technique that has really helped me. That the multiple revision of whatever source you can concise. If you cannot make notes, at least you use an index wherever it is written concisely. So that has helped me.
That's a cheat code, I would say, to cover current affairs, guys. So please note it down. And he has also mentioned that should not be the primary way, but yes, we need to be smart when we are short on time, when we have less resources at our disposal. And this is one of the cheat codes that you can use in case you're really short on time and you want to cover something.
Definitely. Yes.
My next question to Rajavardhan, you is regarding the revision. You have given a lot of emphasis on the revision during this entire interview. So how should one plan for revision? I mean, revision itself is a kind of planning for what you have read, but how should the revision be planned in itself? Is there any schedule for that? Is there any particular way that you would like to suggest that, okay, revise all the subjects one by one, or revise all the subjects parallelly, say one chapter of each subject together? What according to you is a good approach?
So, for the revision thing, if I would say that we will plan a schedule, then it can become a bit monotonous and boring also. Revision must come at a time when you are not focused on reading something new. Because for the notes, what I am talking, making a notes, the difference making of notes makes that the notes is made by you yourself, and it is very concise. So when you read, you won't feel that you are reading very different. First of all, when you have analyzed your papers and your MCQs, and you have made notes out of it, and also the book of mistakes, so you have yourself made the analysis and written whatever you have learned from that. So when you will see that when you will read it again, then you are able to read it fast because it was written by you, and it is written in a language that is connected to you. So whatever preparation we do, whatever we are studying, whatever notes we are making, it is actually a part of making the revision easier. We are making a notes concise and everything. So there is no separate requirement, but it depends on you are working or not, whatever time, how much time you want to give to it. If you're not working, so you will have ample time at hand. So you should prepare, you can prepare in depth. You can take enough time to take a rest and do other activities, talking to your friends and relaxing. And apart from that, you can focus on the third part as revision. So revision, I would say more of my revision came during the last time of the exam, because we are having so much syllabus that we are not able to cover it till the last. So if possible, we should revise in between. That we can have a Sunday or Saturday off from reading new things, and you can just take a look without taking any attention. You can just look at whatever you have made notes till then. Then you will just go through all the notes, whatever you have made, and you will realize that once you have read all your notes, whatever you have written, and next time, the next second round, if you happen to read it during exam time, just before exam, it will be just completed in half an hour, 1 hour, looking at some part for revision. So I wouldn't say that keeping a time separately for revision, because that could become a bit monotonous. But it should also depend on your mood. And if you feel like I don't want to study for something new, then I can go for whatever made notes from the past. There is where notes can become handy for you.
Basically, intermediate revision at certain intervals, and along with that,
possible.
Making your own notes.
Yes, as I said, whatever you have read, it is not important that how much you read. It is important that you should retain the information. So that for that you have to like keep it short, and you have to keep revising those things. Then only it will be helpful for you.
That's right. That's right. Now coming on to the interview part, right? So how did you prepare for interview?
I've written some points.
What were the areas? Yeah, what were the areas that you prepared for the interview?
Yeah, so like the interview, I think in an interview there are three parts. Three parts you can say. One is biodata part. Other is the technical aspects, like whatever job we are applying for. So there will be some concepts, some news, and everything related to those job. I got to that esteem body. So that is the second part, and third can be the general awareness part that covers all the current affairs. Yes, general awareness, current affairs that covers all the important news of national and international importance. It might or might not be directly linked to this, and also like it also covers some of the subjects like economics. So economics is a very basic subject. In any exam you give, you will be asked some basic concepts on economics. This will come into technical, I think. Yeah, these are the three parts that are divided. For interview, one thing I was very sure that biodata will play a very important role. Biodata is something that you can prepare even today. Biodata is something you prepare every day. So I just like took help from my friends also. I also had prepared a template during my interview in RBI Grade B in 2018. So there also biodata, I have listed everything starting from me to whatever things related to myself, like personal, like my background. What is your background? Like family background is there. Starting from there, what all things you have studied? What are the hobbies? And these are like, hobbies are something that we have to like mention very after like, a lot of thinking. So instead of just mentioning hobby very casually, you should think and you should write something very relevant. So you should know some information about it. And apart from that, like whatever chronology that has happened in your life, like I did my job, then UPSC, then this and that, then I am sure that they will want to know that why have you made the choice that you have made. So those are the uncomfortable questions and answers that you should be prepared for. That is one thing. And apart from the technical thing is daily whatever we study. So I realized that during interview they don't go in that depth that is required for phase 2. Exactly. Because it is already checked in phase 2. So in main, in interview they want your comprehension. They want like how will you speak and will you be able to like make a communication. Interview is more about making a communication. It is a dialogue. So it is not like they will ask something and you will answer. They themselves want that the person who is coming for the interview should be interactive. So if they ask you something, you should be like more of an interactive. You should try to answer such that they will ask more questions on that. So it should be concise and to the point. It should be very clear if it's possible. And I think instead of like giving very unclear answers, it would be better if we can just say that we don't know. It is okay to say no, because I myself said no multiple times to many questions. So these are the three things. And for general awareness, I was just reading newspapers. Even during reading newspapers, if we see that these exams will require us to read one business newspaper, I would say. But also business newspapers like Mint, I would say, or Business Standard, anything. I was referring to Economic Times, but then I shifted to Mint. So even there, the newspaper is full of knowledge. Like it is very nice newspaper. It is full of so many facts. But we have to see that we cannot give 4 or 5 hours to a newspaper. If I have to I have to read newspaper, I will just look at the news, which makes more sense to the economy at large or government at large. I was more focused on those news. Like for example, if there is a gold exchange, there was a lot of talk about gold exchange that will be coming up under SEBI. So it is obvious that they might ask question of gold exchange. So every day I won't be able to read in depth what will be the thing, but I should know that there will be a gold exchange. Even in interview, they didn't go, the esteem board didn't go too deep. They were just asking like, have you heard about this? What is it? So when they ask, what is it? What is the use of reading so much if you cannot just answer like, what is gold exchange clearly? So instead of going deep in any news, You just should know whatever are concepts that are coming in the news and what is it and what is it for in 1 or 2 lines. It should be very clear, and you should know what will be the use of that. So even this much depth is important. This will be sufficient. So I think this is what I did, and apart from that, in my job, I have to deal with people, and I will be dealing because like I deal with them in the local language, like I speak in Marathi. And apart from that, being a central government job, I used to write every letter in Hindi. So the touch with English had gone down a bit. So I had to do a lot of mirror practice. Mirror practice is very important. You can just stand in front of mirror and try to speak, look at your voice, like how it is. And the confidence will come from there. It is very difficult practice. It sounds easy, but when you start doing it, we are not very habitual of understanding or hearing our own voice. But if you just start speaking in front of mirror, you will gain tremendous confidence. So that is one thing. And apart from that, I subscribed to the interview free guidance that was given by EduTap. So I gave mock interviews there to the panels, respective panels, and I got really good feedback from them. For all the interviews, I just work on the feedback. Whatever questions they ask, I try to answer them. I try to write a simple answer for all those questions, and I try to speak them. So this is the bare minimum thing I did, because those were the feedback that I got from them. So I just tried to answer those questions, and also I made a lot of questions on my biodata, and I tried to write. So you should write your biodata, and you should write answers to those biodata, and you should read them, revise them. That will help you in articulation when you will speak in front of the board, because you will have very less time there. So this is, I think, has helped even interview also, because we are very much stressed there in the interview. Because the people sitting in front of us are like great, like very big personalities, and we are so much nervous in front of their knowledge. We tend to be very nervous. So much knowledge we gain will not be so much helpful. Whatever you have practiced will definitely be helpful. That should be the way of practicing interview as far as my experience is concerned.
And what was your actual interview all about? I mean, what did they ask you?
So like in the panel of 5 luminaries. So the interview was mix of all economics and basics of stock market, and on my job. So a lot of questions were asked on my job, and there are many candidates also that did not had a past work experience. So one thing I want to clear for all the candidates is that they don't make a distinction about that. Okay, he had a job or they don't have a job. This is what my experience is. So they just want to know that if you had given so much time to a thing, then you should know few more things about that. If I am doing a job, they will have something to ask about my job also. If I am doing in ESIC, like almost 40% interview was on ESIC and my current job profile. That just gives me an edge of using that much time, because I do my job, so I can tell more about my job. That is the time of the interview that I can just be calm and I can answer. If you are not doing a job, then maybe they will ask you more on the current affairs, on whatever other things are going in the economy. So that interview can go in other direction, but they don't usually judge whether you are working or not. So everyone has an equal opportunity of excelling in the exam.
That's right. Did they ask you about these kind of questions in an interview that why do you want to join SEBI from already working in ESSEC, which is also a good organization? So how did you justify that?
They asked me a couple of questions on SEBI, like why you want to join SEBI, and why you want to join SEBI, and like what all things you will bring to SEBI. Why should we select it? It was something like that, on those lines. So I tried to answer that, highlighting the good things here also. I tried to tell them that there are better avenues in SEBI, because in SEBI the position of assistant manager is such that whatever work I have done till now, like being it a senior business analyst in USIP, and or like managerial skills that I have learned during my current job, or my experience in UPSC also. all this experience of job and whatever experience I have gained, all those can be best utilized in my position there. Because even in this job I am doing very good, but that is a job where I can use all the skills also, and I also have a working experience of those, like working on data analytics. And today, in today's world, data analytics is being used everywhere. So I feel that this is the perfect Goldilocks zone for me, because here I am able to do work on the technology that I left in the past. I have again got the chance to excel in that. But at the same time, I am working for an organization that is making a huge impact on the country and on the international front also, because such a small organization, growing organization, is handling so much of trillions of investor money is not a small thing. So it was like more of a prestige for me. So prestige was the number one point for me. It will be the most prestigious job that I can think of right now for me. And apart from that, few points that I had mentioned here is that it is a growing organization. It has a very large impact given its scale, and it is set to grow. It is set to, and so the possibilities and opportunities can be tremendous in the organization. And the work is very interesting and challenging, as I have heard. It is very difficult also at times, but that is something that we will see. Some challenging work is required. There is no monotony, and in addition to all of this, some degree of work-life balance and stability is also there. So that is a very big brownie point if I can get everything under one roof. This is what I tried to explain to them. These are my reasons. I think they must have been convinced.
Yeah, I think that's a very smart answer. You covered a lot of aspects there. At the same time, you showed that you are ready for challenging work, difficult work, no matter what. And you also emphasized the importance of real factors, that you are getting some work-life balance, some stability, which anyways is important for everyone, how much ever we may deny.
Correct.
Very, very smart answer, Rajvardhan. And I think this answer can help many of the guys who are searching for such answers. You need to frame your own, but maybe you can get some guidelines how to go about that. So overall, it was really interesting, Rajvardhan, to talk to you. You gave a lot of insights on various aspects of exam preparation, right from motivation to actual preparation, revision, and interview preparation. Anything you would like to add before we sign off?
Yes, I can say about 2-3 things I have noted down there for the candidates. For one thing I want to say is focus on English descriptive is very important. As candidates can see for themselves that English descriptive is asked in every exam. One thing candidates do is they put a lot of work on improving their grammar and everything. But one trick I want to tell them is that they don't have to practice English descriptive on the laptops. The keyboards that you get during the exams is very hard keyboard. They can be old also, and it is an old keyboard that we use with computers. So if you practice on laptop, it is very smooth. So one thing advice I want to give you is you bring a keyboard from the market. So attach it to your laptop and please practice English descriptive on that keyboard. You will get a practice of it. And one other thing I can say is one way of practicing is if you need guidance, you can take. And in addition to that, you can just write on a notepad or any basic notepad software where you just write and you don't get that spell check and grammar check options. You write any content within time on that, and then you can just copy it and paste it on some app like Grammarly. So you will get, or you can get it checked by anyone, your friends or teachers. So you will see whatever errors you are doing, what kind of mistakes you are doing again. That is something that has helped me because I had very less time. So I used to do that thing, and that has helped me in my English descriptive. So that has helped me all the exams, scoring well for English paper. And the second thing I want to tell you is one thing was about the book of mistakes that I told you, that please try the technique that I told about writing in the pages, partitioning it and making short notes of your mistakes and reading them. It will help. Third thing I will say is that the use of social media can be minimized during preparation.
Yes.
But you don't have to reduce your social connection, because friends and family and everything are very important. You should also exercise, and you can have a normal life while preparation. It is nothing like you have to quit anything and you have to just lock yourself in a room and you have to study day and night. It is nothing like that. Because one thing I've observed is if you practice being like that, if you are just in a one room and you are studying day and night, so you tend to become a bit reserved person. So I'm not saying that is bad because I have experienced it during my UPSC preparation. But suddenly what happens is when you go to interview, you get an interview call, you go to the interview, then suddenly you have to change your, I would say, mood or the personality, because this does affect your personality. So there you have to show that, okay, you are like open to challenges and open to being socializing and everything. So that is the reason, like, you should just behave normally in everyday life also. You should talk, you should go outside, you can attend events and everything. But you should just be sincere. Don't be serious. Like, don't be too serious about life, but you just have to be sincere. You have to focus, like, I have to study, and this is my goal. And it would be better if you just focus on it, not to talk about, like many people think that if I will go in social gathering, then people will talk about my preparation and what I will feel. But I think that you should say proudly that you are preparing for this exam. It is your personal choice. So you should not feel bad about it. So this is what we did feel during our UPSC preparation, like giving 3 attempts, 4 attempts. So this is what my friends, they are like preparing everywhere. That is something that you should not feel bad about. You should say with confidence that I'm preparing for this. If it happens, then good. Otherwise, that knowledge I'll use somewhere else in a very good way. The preparation is such that it will definitely change your personality. It will impact you in very positive ways. So you be proud of like whatever you are doing. You don't have to be dull about it. So please be open and study without like taking pressure. So you will be able to score much more during the exam. It's like a bit counterproductive.
That's a really good message, and I love the line that reduce your social media usage, but not the social connection. It was really nice talking to you, Rajvardhan. So I wish you best of luck for your future career in SEBI. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you, Elzit. Thank you very much. Bye.